Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for coming. My name is Caroline Payne and I am Secretary of the Reliant Motor Club. The club was formed in June 2016 by my husband Elvis Payne and fellow Reliant enthusiast Mark Cropper. From day one, they always had the ambition to get a blue plaque on this house to mark the first Reliant prototype. And so we are delighted that working alongside the Tamworth Heritage Trust, we have achieved this goal. Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal is an honorary member of the club and has been informed of the blue plaque being unveiled today. She sends everyone her best wishes for the unveiling. The first Reliant prototype was built right here in 1934 by T.L.Williams and E.S.Thompson, and it was then registered in January 1935. Today, E.S.Thompson's daughter, Pat Afford, was due to unveil the plaque, but sadly she is in hospital. Pat's daughter, Charlotte, has kindly accepted to unveil the plaque on her behalf. Before the plaque is unveiled by Charlotte, I would like to introduce Margaret Clark from the Tamworth Heritage Trust and Barry Wills, the President of the Reliant Motor Club. I want to pass you over to Margaret.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for turning up. I'm Margaret from Tamworth Heritage Trust. We are delighted to liaise with the Reliant Motor Club, which has motivated a lot of people and their interest. I think that this house and the gentleman who used to live here was very important to Tamworth. Everybody knows that the Reliant came from Tamworth. Last night someone told me where to find the fourth wheel. But he was from the Postal Service, so I think it was a parcel that went missing. However, let's get on with the serious business today. As I say, this is a momentous moment. This is the first of many blue plaques that will be organised and installed in Tamworth, particularly to recognise people of Tamworth rather than the buildings that we know so well. Please can we have an unveiling?
Oh, sorry, just Pat. Sorry, Pat.
Apparently I've got to speak first.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Firstly, I'd like to apologise to everybody for winning the overdressed competition. No, I'm as honoured to have been asked to speak today as I was when invited by the founders of the Reliant Motor Club, Elvis Payne and Mark Cropper, to be the club's honorary president. But then when I thought about it, I realised that of the board of directors I joined in 1974 during Reliant's halcyon years, I'm the only one still alive, so that's another qualification. But how far-sighted was Tom Williams in 1934 when he decided Raleigh were wrong in thinking there was no future in three-wheeled vehicles? Indeed, it should be remembered that by the first half of the 70s, once the iconic Reliant Robin, or was it the Robin Reliant, Jasper Carrot, was introduced, 66 three-wheelers were being manufactured and sold each day. That's a rate of 330 a week. And that the Robin would not lie down and die as expected, but would continue in production until 2009, by which time I've worked out, courtesy of Elvis's book, 193,471 three-wheeled Reliants have been produced. What a tribute to Williams's persistence. Indeed, how brave were Williams and his number 2 Tomo Thompson and their wonderfully named first employee, and I love this, Baden Powell. What a name to conjure with, Baden Powell. They started a new company as Britain was just coming out of the Great Depression of the 30s, you know. That takes a bit of thinking about. 1930, what a brave thing to do. By 1968, Reliant was the second largest British-owned car manufacturer, motor manufacturer, I should say. I'm not sure the three-wheel is a car. Second only to British Leyland. And the largest by far of the UK's specialist producers. Much, much bigger in turnover, sales, volumes and numbers of employees than the far more glamorous Lotus, Jensen, Aston Martin, TVR and Rolls-Royce and Bentley. And I reckon that Reliant were bigger in every respect than the combined might of Lotus, Aston Martin and TVR. You know, you had those three companies together. Reliant was bigger. In 1958, Williams was also a pioneer in starting Reliant's exports of completely knocked down kits of cars into developing countries. The Reliant developed Regent, Carmel, Susita and Sabra Sports for Israel, the Anadol, we've got a representative of the team that handed over the Anadol to the Turks, and the near-miss FW11, which was to become the Citroën BX. Not many people know that. The Citroën BX was going to be a Reliant for Turkey. And much later, the Helichak for Indonesia. Tom Williams died in 1964, 8 years before I joined the company, and I never met him, but I had the pleasure of meeting Tomo on a number of occasions during the 70s. He made near-annual visits to Two Gates at Managing Director Ray Wiggins' invitation. Ray would entertain him to lunch in the director's dining room, and Tomo's stories of the old days were always both entertaining and educational. Williams had been far-sighted once again in appointing Ray Wiggin as his successor just a week before suffering his fatal heart attack. Wiggin picked up the Williams torch with a flourish. And annual turnover rose, believe it or not, from £600,000 to a remarkable £20 million over the next decade. That was assisted just a little bit by the post-oil crisis inflation that many of us remember, of course, 20% a year at one time. The same farsightedness applied to Williams' decision to ensure Reliant's future by introducing four-wheel cars in recognition of the inevitable decline forecast in three-wheelers as the nation became more prosperous. The 1961 Sabre sports car led the way for the development of the groundbreaking Scimitar GTE, the world's first sports estate car, beloved of Her Royal Highness Princess Royal, who sent her message today, the concept of which was copied by Volvo, Honda, Lotus and Lancia, whilst features of Tom Karen's classic design were carried over into many more brands. It's a real tribute to the persistent efforts of Elvis Payne in particular, and the enthusiastic support of the Tamworth Heritage Trust, that Tamworth's second only blue plaque should be unveiled today in honour of Reliant's founders. Although it's very disappointing co-founder Tomo's daughter, Pat Afford, is unable to undertake the task, we're delighted her daughter and Tomo's granddaughter, Charlotte Oliver, has been able to stand in for her. So it's with the greatest pleasure I now ask Charlotte if she would please be kind enough to do that.
It gives me great pleasure to unveil the plaque. Watch the drawing, Kim.
Fantastic, very good.
Does it enhance the house, do you think?
Very much so, yeah.
I think it's going to stand out a little bit.
I hope they are. Are the owners of that? Oh, you are?